Welcome to the GoGCast, brought to you by XSplit Broadcaster, simple yet powerful live streaming and recording. And now, your host, Leah.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Girls Eye Games podcast. Oh, wait, should I be saying GoGcast? We did rebrand, didn't we? I'm never going to get that out of my head. Simon's going to yell at me one day. I hope you're all doing super good on this wonderful Monday evening. It is podcast episode number 62, and we've got special guests with us, Girl Tribe Gaming, Jen and Zen. Ladies, thank you very much for hanging out with us here today.
Yeah, awesome.
And we've also got our managing editor, Miss Alicia. How are you doing, 8-Bit Blonde?
Very good, very good.
Very good, very rested after your weekend at LAN ETS?
Oh yeah, so rested.
so rested.
Everything's fine.
You're preparing for other things, other fun adventures that you have to go on this week.
Yeah.
We can talk more about that later, but Jen and Zen, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get into details about what you ladies do at Girl Tribe Gaming and all that stuff. Do you want to give us first, before we jump into what we're all playing and the news and stuff, maybe your 1 minute pitch about what is Girl Tribe Gaming?
Sure. So Girl Tribe Gaming is a podcast, and we focus on a range of different games. We just share our thoughts and experiences, and we try to keep it pretty positive and fun. On top of video games, we talk about TV, movie, and I guess zombies always seem to work their way in there somehow or other.
And zombies always happen. And we also, our community side of things, we do play dates and things like that to kind of get people together. So
it's very cool. I like you are women after our own hearts in the way that you like to just talk in the positive mind about video games, and that's why I really I really gravitated toward your content when I discovered it online. So I was very surprised and very happy when you agreed to be on our podcast today.
Well, thank you. You guys are awesome too. So
yeah, I want to know what you're playing right now. So what's loaded up in your Xbox?
So I guess last weekend we were both playing a lot of Rocket League. Ooh. Totally hooked. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but oh my gosh, it's such a simple game. I mean, you're driving a car around and hitting a ball. It's basically soccer meets race cars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm also playing the Nathan Drake collection, just getting ready for Uncharted 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't wait for another date with Nathan Drake.
I have been playing a lot of Halo 5, the Warzone Firefight.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I'm addicted. I love it. So I cannot wait for it to officially launch.
All right, well, let's talk about that, because I know we're going to talk about betas later, but let's jump into it now. We had a preview or a review of sorts. I guess you could kind of review a beta up on the site. Yeah, first impression from our contributor Adam. So and Alicia, I imagine you've been playing it as well.
Yes. Yeah, Adam and I have been playing Firefight pretty much nonstop. I'm loving it. I'm not a huge fan of like regular Warzone. I find it gets a little, it's going to sound weird for me to say that gets repetitive, but Firefight doesn't. But it does to me. I don't know why. I don't know why there's like this distinction as I'm playing, but I don't know. I think it's because it's just more relaxed. But yeah, no, we've been playing tons of it, and I'm really, really excited for when it releases, like officially and fully.
For those who are not familiar with this new multiplayer mode, can you break it down and how it's different from what came out originally with Halo 5?
Okay, so yeah, like regular Warzone is PvP, and Firefight is just waves of different AI enemies, and there's still objectives to complete and whatnot. And there's still, you know, the difficulty level is still there.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Challenging at times, but yeah, that's the main difference.
Could this be like the counterpart to Terrorist Hunt in Rainbow Six Siege? In how?
So.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, in layman's terms, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. And Jen, you've been enjoying it?
Yeah, I really like it, and you know, back in the day when we were playing it on ODST and Reach, they didn't have like the rec packs that you would use, you know, the rec system. And I really like the rec system, adding that in, and just being able to call out like Wardy or Ghost or whatever. I was running around with my Mantis, blowing everything up, and this makes it a lot more fun. And I wasn't sure about 8 players, but I think it's working. It fills in with matchmaking if you don't have enough. So I like it.
I haven't had trouble with matchmaking in Halo, really. I haven't had any bad groups, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't had something where I'm just like, I just want to back out right now. This is absolutely
Okay, you're talking like the people that you're matched up with, not necessarily it failing to work like MCC.
Oh yeah, no connection issues like that.
Okay, because when you said that, I was like, oh good, they fixed it. But you're actually talking about people not being idiots online.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you getting matched up with people that don't match your level or things like that.
Yeah, because I mean, what are the chances of you having 8 friends all online at the same time, right? So you're gonna get yeah.
True.
Oh, there's the cat.
Cats are always welcome. Always. Allie, what have you been playing besides Halo?
Trying to think.
Vision?
Actually, no. I kind of put the Division aside for right now.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't even done the new incursion yet, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Yep.
But I'm trying to. I really just Halo.
Wow.
Just Halo. Yeah.
Halo all day, every day.
Busy. I've been busy and and Overwatch, the Overwatch beta.
That was the voice of God.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Simo, our technical producer extraordinaire.
Yeah, and the Overwatch beta a little bit this weekend. But yeah, I've just been busy. It's mostly Halo, filling in my spare time with Halo.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about Overwatch. I was chatting with friends and my husband and our friend Craig, who play Division together, and I was like, what are we gonna play next? And Craig had mentioned Overwatch, and I'm like, I still don't know. I'm still on the fence, but if I can get it on Xbox, I kind of like that idea because I seem to be much better with a controller playing a shooter. But if it's super fast, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because I do like being super methodical in my gameplay stance. I like, kind of hiding, using the surroundings. Can you do the same kind of thing in Overwatch? Is it very much like Call of Duty, where it's switched and fast, and you gotta really like, pixels matter much more than defensive strategies?
I would not liken it to Call of Duty. I don't know, Jen or Zen. I don't know if have you guys played the beta?
We didn't try it yet.
No, you didn't try it yet. This comparison has been made a lot online all over the place, but it's a lot like Team Fortress.
Okay.
Or Team Fortress 2 if you played it. And so it's quick like that. I mean, you still have to be strategic and you still have to plan things, and it's not just like a massive free-for-all. But it's definitely very quick moving. Like the actual motions in the game are quick, and the actual games go by fast and whatnot. So it's not going to be for everyone. That's for sure. But nothing ever is. So
the beta's still running?
No.
Okay. There's another beta. One, right?
There's the closed beta that's still going on. That will be ending soon, and then those who pre-ordered it on console or on PC will get access to will get early access to the open beta. In early May.
Okay. So that's really a server test at that point.
No, the server test was this weekend.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. That's why they opened it up to everybody. Nice. Cool. All right, let's get into some of the news. So Allie and I were both at LAN ETS this weekend, and it was really good. I'm really excited about DreamHack now, seeing what the folks at LAN ETS managed to pull off. I'd say there had to be about 2,000 people in the building when we were there. Allie?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah, they had, the setup was really nice. Tons of computers around, everybody playing games. The stage setup where they had the finale was very nice as well. I think they had ran into a few technical issues. Hopefully this kind of works as their beta for what's going to happen with DreamHack, because I imagine it's going to be a lot more people watching on Twitch. I know they ran into technical issues when again had to start later. But it went really well. The folks that ended up winning included Datzit Gaming Triangle, who won the League of Legends tournament, and CS:GO grand finales went to if that's how they say it, it's AYYYYYY. That's what I'm assuming their team. Maybe that's the whole point, is to just make like "Aye!" or something. But yeah, it was really entertaining to watch. I had a lot of fun. Really good production value. I was impressed at the space in how it was laid out, in the food that they had. The staff was great. So bravo to the folks at LAN ETS. You put off one hell of a show. Allie, do you have any comments?
No, just for our Montreal viewers in the chat, next year, definitely consider picking up a day pass or a weekend long pass. It's really relatively inexpensive compared to other events in the city. And just go for it. It's a nice time waster. It's a nice way to spend your weekend. Just walk around with like-minded people and enjoy yourself. So
there was cool things on site too. They had some PC stores there with their wares. Some other media had booths. Yeah, there was just cool stuff going on and different activities too. They had a cosplay contest. The video game orchestra played. So yeah, it was all around a really fun weekend. Calm, chill, lots of games.
It's always great to be with your people, it seems, at those types of conventions.
Definitely. And I mean, there was every type of person there. We had like little baby gamers, and we had like people, like entire families with infants, like walking around and enjoying themselves. And it was nice. Like it was, yeah, when you're in your element like that, it's really fun. Do you guys have any gaming events out near where you guys are?
The only ones that I went to, the one in Chicago, but it was just a Comic-Con.
Okay.
We went to PAX years ago.
Yeah, you came out to Seattle, and I have PAX out here in Seattle. So. That was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, PAX East is happening now this coming weekend.
I know. I wish I was going.
That's where Allie's packing up for now.
Oh,
gotta go work.
Yeah, I'm going for work, and it is quite fine. You know that GIF of like the dog sitting at the table and everything around him is on fire, and it's just like, that's fine, everything's fine at the bottom, like in little text. That's me right now. Fine, everything's great.
You're just up to here. That's all.
Yeah. Gaming conventions, fun but stressful. Takeaway.
So the next little bit of news that came out the weekend and kind of caught the internet by storm was this article by an game industry veteran, Alex St. John, where he spoke about wages in making video games, and that gamers shouldn't complain, or video game developers shouldn't complain or bitch about having fair wages, that it is a privilege to get to work 80 hours a week on a video game and not get compensated accordingly because it's art. So I know you ladies enjoy your video games, and Zen, you yourself are a graphic designer, so you know what it means when people say, oh, but it's just art, and not getting paid for such a thing, and like, the value of your time and your skill set. So I wanted to get you to comment on this, to see how you feel about it. Are you as enraged as I am about it? Which is weird, since this guy used to make video games and now help develop DirectX.
You're enraged because you think they should be getting paid, I mean, pretty well for making an awesome game, right?
Yeah, like, it seems right. Why shouldn't they get paid if huge companies are making tons of money off these things?
There's also, I don't know if you guys read the article in full or read his original post, but there's also him talking about how the crunch isn't really a crunch if you enjoy what you're doing. So that 80-hour work week should, leave you feeling fulfilled and not emotionally and mentally exhausted.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not human, but when I have to work like crazy hours, yeah, I love designing, but I'm only human. I mean,
yeah. I know that, like, my family gets pretty ticked if I don't get home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but they understand that those crunches happen, but at the same time, there needs to be compensation for it.
And the company should value their work, And I think a lot of companies, maybe just in design, they think you're a dime a dozen and they take you for granted. So I disagree.
Well, as a consumer, I give my money to each game I buy, and I want to support the people that make the game. I don't want them to be underpaid and overworked.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Where I find it funny is if he says, well, it's art, nobody should be paid, then, like, should architects not be paid? Should filmmakers not be paid? How about painters when they make like gazillions of dollars on paintings? You know, where is art? Sometimes mathematicians are artists because they craft these things that are unbelievable using numbers. So should they not be paid? My dad's a plastic surgeon. What he does is an art because he has to put people back together. Should he not be paid? Like, it's just like it blows my mind that the guy can think this way.
Yeah. I sure don't want to work for him. That's
seriously.
I think he's actually currently working at a company that makes mobile games.
Wild Tangent, I think, right?
Yeah, Wild Tangent. Yeah.
Is that where he's working now or used to work?
I'm not quite sure if he's still working.
The way it was written, I was uncertain because I know he said he co-created DirectX for Microsoft. I don't know if he's still there. And he founded the game company Wild Tangent.
No, he got fired from Microsoft.
Oh, because he burnt out?
Yeah,
essentially it. He burned out at Microsoft and got fired, and now he's like, well, people shouldn't be paid.
What?
I think he was drunk when he wrote this article.
I don't know. He had to have been.
It is really striking up an interesting conversation though in the community, especially among, I know a few of the indie developers I follow are talking about it pretty like it's very personal for them, right? Because here they are, studios of 10 or 12 people working around the clock to make a game of their own volition rather than being lorded over by, you know, a larger company. And to them, it's just like getting smacked in the face. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't like this idea of art not being value with money.
I agree.
That hurts. Internally, that hurts.
Yeah. I think there's a perfect balance. I mean, you can love what you do and make pretty good money, and I don't know. I'm with you though.
Yeah. All right, another piece that came out. Speaking of art and making money, I always really enjoy when they take mediums that are intended to use a certain way and flip it on its head and try something different. So this group made YouTube has end cards, and I know you guys who are YouTube savvy and all this stuff. At the end of the end cards, you can add in interactive clicking spaces where you can go to lead to another video. Sometimes it has related stuff. You can subscribe to the channel. Well, this group called Many a True Nerd decided to spin that on its head and turn a YouTube series of videos into an interactive story about Fallout New Vegas. So instead of clicking to see what's next, the end cards are actually decision time, just like you would in the adventure books that we used to read as kids. Now, I think they're kind of gone by the wayside now, but I'm sure you ladies are probably around the same age I am. You know, I had adventure books as a kid where it's like, do you want to go up the stairs or walk out the basement door? And then, you know, like flip to page 13, and then I always end up dying. But essentially, this is the same thing, but using YouTube. It's really neat, and it's not long either. I managed to play through a few times. The first initial one where he explains it and sets up the event is about 2.5 minutes. But then after that, everything was about around anywhere from a minute to like even 17 seconds when I got killed really quick.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but just
sounds fun.
Yeah, but just the thought process is so neat to think of how you can take YouTube and turn it into essentially a game.
Yeah, I love the idea of being able to control your movies or like a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what this is doing, kind of what like Quantum Break was trying to do. And I don't know, I mean, that's awesome and like super exciting. I also love Choose Your Own Adventures growing up, so.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot. And then just repurposing that game into making it into a new game is really neat too. It's just, yeah, it's smart.
Very smart, very
definitely very smart.
I imagine we're going to see a lot more of these.
Yeah, now that
it's out there. I'm curious if they were the first one to do this, or if it just became famous because it's Fallout New Vegas and everybody is like on the Fallout bandwagon, or if it's because they're a very popular YouTube channel. But all in all, guys, I think you should go check it out because it really, you know, it really goes to show that you can make a game of pretty much anything, even a platform that's meant for, you know, just creating content. Next thing we've got is all about reprimanding video gamers. So I'm sure you guys are all well aware that sometimes the League of Legends community can be a little difficult. They can.
That's a word for it.
Yeah, it can be a little daunting to think about getting involved in League of Legends just because of the community behind it. And reprimanding gamers when they're not being very nice or not respecting terms of service or, hacking a system to make it work your way can be, you can get banned and then, you don't know why. You don't have a chance to plead your case. Many things, And what Riot has ended up doing is created these cards of sorts that are emailed or messaged to the user to let them know why they have been banned or what infraction they committed in order to try and teach them something. Because imagine if you had like a child and they have an open unit on the oven, right, or on the stove, and you're like, don't put your hand there. And then that's all you say is, do not put your hand there. The kid's like, why? If you don't give them an answer, they're going to be like, well, I'm going to test it out for myself and put their hand on the open unit and burn themselves. If you explain to them you're going to burn yourself, then they're more or less likely to not put their hand on it. Well, essentially, this is what the team at Riot has been doing. They've been sending out these cards stating you were banned because of blank, be it verbal abuse or something like that. And they've been finding that because of this, they've had a serious reduction in repeat offenses by gamers once they've gotten access back into the games. They were doing really, really well with it. The only problem they were finding is that the cards didn't go out fast enough to the gamers. So they would get their notifications later on, like maybe a month later, and it wouldn't, it just took a little too long for them to realize what they did, or maybe they didn't even think about it or remember exactly what they said. So Riot managed to make this a lot faster, and now the reform rate has jumped up from 70% to 90% for gamers. I think this is fabulous in teaching people why and how to act online and why something is wrong. I know, ladies, you must have encountered, backlash being ones that play, people that play games online all the time and people finding out that you're girls. Do you think that this system should be implemented across the board on all games?
I think it's great.
Yeah, go ahead, Zen.
No, I'm sorry, Jen. I think it's great. And Xbox was trying to do something similar, but I love the idea of almost getting like a report card, and so you can know where you're screwing up. But I think it has to be done because it seems to be getting better. But there's certain games that if you are not on friends only and they find out that you're a girl, they're not going to leave you alone.
Yeah, I think offering specific, timely feedback. Most people honestly are good people. They want to be good. They make stupid choices, obviously, in the way they behave. But I think if they get that feedback, like right after it happens, it means more to them. And I think they'll want to change. And I think this is a really good idea because, like some games, like have gotten so much better. Like back in the day, Halo 2, Zen and I encountered a lot of harassment and language, everything. And now, it's so much better. Like in Halo 5, like most people are genuinely nice, but there's lots of areas of opportunity in Call of Duty and things like that. So I think it's if it's working, I definitely think everyone should adopt it.
You can only imagine the amount of people that are involved or the system that they had to install in order to get this to roll so that the reports were delivered in under 10 minutes or so. That's hard work. That's a lot. And I'm sure a lot of management that they have to implement. Not everybody has that kind of power and time and money to put behind something, but Riot definitely does.
And I think you need to, like with a community as large as they have to deal with, and a community that is as competitive and, to be honest, pretty toxic at times. They needed to make it a space that people wanted to stay and keep playing in. Because there were so many players leaving because it was just dealing with the salt was just too much. So good for them. Honestly, kudos to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something we're going to see a lot more of. Sticking with players being bad, Ubisoft is vowing to punish players that exploit the Division new raid. So, Ali, you haven't had a chance to play the new raid yet?
No, but I still have thoughts about this.
Yeah, so essentially what's going on is in the new Falcon Lost raid, it's an incursion style, there's a spot where you can break through a wall and go around and avoid the big bass. Oh my god, I can't even talk. The big bad guy, and flip around and just take all the loot and run away. And people have been doing this over and over again and farming. So it's to the point now where even gamers that don't feel like cheating feel the need to have to do this in order to stand up, especially in the dark zone, because the rewards gotten through this raid are so high that now they're totally overpowered by the other gamers in the dark zone. Ubisoft sees this, wants to do something about it, but they don't really know where to go because they don't know who's actually completed the mission honestly and who hasn't. And I imagine that it's quite difficult. And then people are also pissed off that they let out a raid that had this game breaking bug in it. So Ali, you have some thoughts on this, so I'll let you jump into it because you've been playing a lot more Division than me, or at least you're a lot higher level. I have yet to enter the Dark Zone. I'm a little nervous by it. This scares me even further. So yeah, maybe you could give me your 2 cents and what you think Ubisoft could do to fix this and to make it fair for everybody now.
Honestly, I'm a little amused by the entire situation. I think Ubisoft, what was it exactly that they said? The title of the article is
the quote is
Ubisoft vows to punish players that exploit the Division's I was like, okay, we need to calm down a little bit. It's quite honestly, it's on their own heads that they released the game, and it had this opening for people to exploit. And it sucks. The same thing happened for Destiny with the loot cave. Same thing is going to happen again in the next incursion that they release, or the next, update that they release in the Division. Things like this happen. It sucks, but I think they just need to patch it and move on. Because at this point, punishing players is just they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just give everybody the loot, patch it, and be done with it? And then at least everybody's on the same playing field, because at least they got one of whatever the weapons and gear that you get out at the end.
I honestly
done with it.
Don't even think they need to do that. If someone wants to get the gear, they can just grind a little bit and get the gear. Like, it's not like the game doesn't have ridiculous drop rates, and it's not like it's incredibly long either. And there's no it's not like WoW where you have to wait for like it to respawn after a week or whatever. So I don't know. I just think Ubisoft needs to tone it down a little bit, because I think they're just inciting people to keep doing it more often by acting this way and being so like, oh, you darn kids about it. Like, it just made me laugh this morning when I was reading the article. I was like, I think your fault.
I didn't even realize that was their real quote. Vows to punish players. Dun dun dun. I actually would say that what I've seen of the Dark Zone, where I think it's kind of evil, and what scares me the most is you going out and finding some good loot, and then people just sitting by the extraction point, waiting to go off.
That's all that's happened to me in the Dark Zone. It's like, you're so happy, and then you're trying to extract, and a horde of people rush you. It's like,
yeah, that's so strange. And you know what? It makes me wonder, because the few instances that I don't spend much time in the Dark Zone. I'm max level, but I still don't really wander in there. The few times I have gone in there, though, I've met really friendly people.
That's good.
Like,
I don't know.
That's rare.
I have people helping me, and we work together.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It was terrifying in there.
Oh, no.
Like I said, I haven't brought myself to it yet to go in there and actually, play because it scares me.
If you don't mind, I want to chime in a little bit here. I have about 50 hours in the division, and I'm max level into Dark Zone.
Yeah.
And the real problem that's happened with the new patch is that you do get ganked for your gear, just because so much gear drops now. Like before, you used to just have fun and play with people and actually be together to try to beat like the NPCs because they were so high level. Now gear drops so much that people are just going to camp the, like you said, the extraction points because they know that everybody has gear now. So to me, it completely ruined the game for me, and I just stopped playing because of it.
Oh,
So-
wow.
But that's strange because that's the whole point of the Dark Zone
Yeah.
to begin with. Like, I
But
think
it's less likely. So you have this chance. You're running this gamble essentially if you go up against somebody, because you do get the alert that happens if you start shooting at somebody, so that everybody could gang up on you. So you don't know if you are like a gambling man and want to shoot somebody with the hopes that they have something, right? If not, they might have nothing, and now you put a big target on your back. When there's so much gear out there, everybody's got gear. So now you're gambling. You're like your chances are really high that you're going to get something. So people take that chance. Plus, when you're right next to the extraction point, it's a lot easier for you to like shoot somebody and get out real quick, right? So
I don't know. I think I'm going to stay out of there for a little bit. So
yeah, and you know what? We're lucky that the division has so many other things to do.
oh yeah,
Which is definitely, like the Dark Zone isn't the only end game content for us right now. So I think that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
definitely. And like we were speaking about earlier, there's a lot of betas out right now playing around along with Overwatch and Halo 5 Warzone. There's also the Battleborn beta that's going on. City's been playing a fair amount of that. I saw an advertisement for it on my Xbox the other day. Doom as well has a multiplayer beta going, and Gears of War 4 is supposed to start today.
Yes.
So yeah, this seems to be there's too many. You can play your games you purchased, or you can play the games you think you're gonna purchase.
Oh my God.
Decisions, right? It's almost like I get a game, I'll play the beta, and then I'll have lots of fun. I'm like, yes, take my money. And then when I go to put that game in, there's another beta for me to play. Oh, it's hard.
So,
Gamer problems.
Yeah. Hashtag gamer problem.
Yeah.
But out of the available betas, what have you guys been, or have you guys tried anything other than, as Jen was saying, the Halo 5, obviously?
Yeah, we tried the Battleborn beta. We both tried that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I don't play a lot of Borderlands, but it was a lot of fun and just silly, like a silly shooter, which was almost welcomed. I mean, I play a lot of, more Call of Duty, Halo. So this one was almost just nice to be able to relax and just giggle about all the silly comments the game makes.
Mm-hmm.
Will I be buying it? Probably not. But I did enjoy it.
Now why is that?
I think I'll get burned out on it.
Okay.
I think it's going to get repetitive really fast. I think it's going to be one of those games that people are like crazy about for 2 weeks and then nobody's playing it.
Now, do you think Overwatch is going to suffer the same fate?
No.
I don't know nothing
Why?
about Overwatch.
Why, Allie?
This is Battleborn. This is Overwatch.
Okay. It's going to eat it.
It's bad. It's poor timing. And Battleborn, I played it at Fan Expo last year and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But if I'm going to be buying and playing an objective-based shooter for like the next year, it's going to be Overwatch.
I have to try it. Now, Jen, you really like Battleborn, though.
I really like the Battleborn beta. I haven't played Overwatch. I think for Xbox it comes out like the beginning of May.
Yeah, May 3rd, I think we get access to the beta if you've pre-ordered. Or is that I don't know. Early May.
I haven't sometime May, but I really like Battleborn. I'm a huge Borderlands fan, so a lot of that humor I saw in that game, and the 25 characters is pretty cool. You get to see. I only played like 2, but I really enjoyed it. It was just funny. The humor, the graphics are super happy. But I know Overwatch has kind of that cartoony.
That's it. Like it's just they're so close together time-wise, and they're so similar in the sense of like whimsy almost. Like the humor and the color and the speed. I just.
So what would Overwatch have over Battleborn?
To me, I don't even know. Maybe it's just because I'm Blizzard biased. At this point, that's what I'm starting to think it might be. I think I do prefer the art style for Overwatch over Battleborn. But I mean, other than that, they are very similar.
I'm chiming in again. Sorry, I'm 90% sure that Blizzard are going to market it as well as it at Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. They're going to market it as an esport game. So and then they're going to make tournaments and it's going to pick up and it's going to work. Like Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm would not have picked up as they are now if Blizzard didn't organize tournaments with interesting prize pool and teams and that stuff. There's already Liquid already announced their Overwatch team even before the game is out. To go to tournaments, that kind of stuff. So for sure, it's gonna happen for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm excited to try it.
It's a lot of fun.
It's gonna be good. Reminder to folks in chat: if you have any questions for the ladies from Girl Tribe Gaming or us, throw them into the chat, and I'm sure Ali and myself and Simone will keep track of them. Stephanie asked, "Are y'all team Xbox?" I have everything. So I'm no team. It's just where can I play it? How about you gals? Do you play Xbox only, PlayStation? I know you mentioned talking about playing some Uncharted, and there's only one spot to get that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have Xbox One. Most of my online play is on Xbox One, but then I also have a PS4 and then Nintendo 3DS. So I just like gaming.
I'm pretty much solely Xbox One only. I have a slight addiction to achievements. So I will play, random Windows 10 games to get achievements or Windows Phone games, but pretty much Xbox. That's what I do.
Awesome. All right, let's get into talking about you, ladies, and what you do.
Wait. Whoa, just what? 1 second. There's one news thing I forgot to put on the thing. I just saw it on my way home, but we don't even need to discuss this. I just need to read the title of the article out loud, the headline out loud, just to see if it makes more sense to me that way.
You have me ready.
Just hold on to your butts here, guys.
Holding the butts.
And I'm gonna put this in chat for you guys.
Putting it in chat. And
Boy,
do you want me to read it in my radio voice, all dramatic?
I'm just gonna read it out, and then these guys can go read it. All right, because this is not even something I want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Oh my God, you're gonna light a fire here. How can we talk about something and
just listen? Okay. Just listen, because this is. Boy cuts off his own finger to spite his parents' mobile gaming ban.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So his parents told him he couldn't play any more iPhone games, so he chopped his finger off.
Yep.
SMRT.
Yep. Very smart, this child. 11 years old, cut off the tip of his finger from the first joint up because he was mad at his parents.
Oh my goodness.
I can't even imagine.
I know the images in my head are terrible.
Sounds like Van Gogh's ninja.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you think he went into the kitchen and just looked at his parents right in the eye, took the scissors and just
or
that'll teach them.
On the table with a knife and just went.
I mean, how does that? I don't know. I read that on the bus. I immediately started laughing, and I was just like,
"Oh my gosh!"
This child. Anyways, the article's in chat if you guys want to go take a look at it.
I think we have bigger problems than this kid playing video games.
Yeah.
Willing to chop off his own digit.
Anyway, sorry. I just had to put that out there because I was like, this does not make any sense.
How is that inflicting on his parents? He's inflicting pain on himself.
Right.
One of my father's one of my father's favorite sayings is cutting off your nose to spite your face. And that child literally embodied that phrase. Anyways.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. That's out there.
We're leaving you all with that for the end of the news today. That little bit of information. I hope you don't all dream about chopping off fingers now. Okay. So, Jen and Zen, let's talk about your podcast, Girl Tribe Gaming. What inspired you to start this?
So Jen and I have always thrown crazy ideas at each other. Like, for example, we tried to build paper Halo armor that Pepakura, like gluing it all together. We also had a blog. We had a blog that we did some game reviews on about 5 years ago, and we enjoyed it, but we didn't love it. And we just talked about having a podcast, and we talked for probably a couple of years, and then we bought all of our equipment, and then it was another year until we finally released the episode, because we're both pretty shy. And so I guess it was, if there was one podcast that inspired us, was Ladies of Leet. They're no longer recording. They've probably been gone for about a year now, but they were probably one of the bigger inspirations behind starting our own podcast, was listening to them.
Yeah.
Very cool. Ellie, you're next.
Yes. Okay, so what kind of games do you guys specifically focus on? Or is there a specific focus for the podcast for the games that you review and the games that you talk about, or is it just pretty much anything that tickles your fancy or catches your eye?
It's pretty much anything. That's one thing that's been great about having the podcast, is it's opened up like our eyes to so many different games. For instance, Jen, you're reviewing a game coming up. What is that game called?
It's called Jump Jet Rex, and it's like it's this crazy game. It's like a 2D platformer. There's a dinosaur with these boots, and you're jumping around saving like the dinosaurs. Like, it's just, that's I'm playing that on Xbox One, but I mean we both have been like reviewing a lot of games we normally have played. Like previously, we both played a lot of shooters.
Yeah, and I think a game recently that I reviewed on the PlayStation 4 was Stories, The Path of Destinies.
They're from Montreal.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, the developer.
Oh my gosh, I love the game. It was just something I never would have picked up. And it's like a RPG, hack 'em, slash 'em, like dungeon crawler, but it has choose your own adventure elements. It's just a beautiful game. So that's one thing I love about the podcast, is just how it's opened up our eyes to so many different games.
That's great. I like that. I like that approach.
Yeah.
Now, you specifically identify Girl Tribe as a community rather than a clan. Why is that?
Okay, so our roots are back as like when we were first formed, it was like 2004, and we were an all-female Halo 2 clan. And since then, we've grown. We went from the original Xbox to the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and the clan grew from like 8 to 12 people to like over 300. And Zen and I, we've done this together the whole time. And, we're like, take a step back. We're like, we're not really a clan, we're a community. And so we've taken that, we're now calling ourselves a community, because that's what we really are. Her and I, we're not clan leaders. Like,
we don't want to be. I mean,
that's not us. That's not our style. So we actually specifically call it out, one, to clarify for people that have known us from before, just like, hey, we're not a clan, we're a community. Everyone's welcome. We're very, well, I'm using your name, Zen. We're very Zen, like everyone's welcome. We want people to know that, like, if you are in another clan, you can still, come to our forums, come to our play dates and engage with us. And it's not like you're cheating on your clan or anything. So that's why we say that.
And do you specifically just target towards women right now, or are you open to anybody?
Yeah, so it's kind of a tricky thing. Like, we've always been like pretty much a women's community and everything like that. But by doing the podcast, Sid and I have actually found that, we're really developing a lot of relationship with our guide listeners. And so that was the other reason. If we open things up more, we can accept everyone, and not just, before it was you had to be a woman, you had to be on Xbox One, and all these little things. And now everybody can just come and hang out. So
yeah, it's been great. I mean, after being a girl clan for so many years, and I think it was just time to start evolving.
Yeah.
Very cool. So are you guys looking forward to any games specifically to discuss on the podcast? Like, is there that one game where you're just waiting for the release date so you guys can just geek out about it?
I don't know if there's like just one So I'm gonna name a few because I
Go for it. Name drop.
Like Uncharted 4.
Yes.
And then Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4.
Mhm.
No Man's Sky on PS4. That looks so good. And then What Remains of Edith Finch. I think that's going to be on Steam and on PS4. It looks beautiful. Like, I love the idea of it being like these short stories where you already know the end, but you just don't know how the characters are going to meet their end. So I'm really excited about that. And which is strange because I play so many games on Xbox One, but for the remainder of this year, all of my games are on PlayStation that I'm really looking forward to. Besides Gears, but Gears of War 4.
Yeah, duh.
Zen, but you mentioned Edith Finch. Have you played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter?
No. What is it? What's it on?
I think it's on Steam and PS4 and Xbox One now. I might have just got your hopes up for nothing.
Oh gosh, yeah, see?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I think it's available on everything, but that's along the same lines.
Huh.
Yeah, it's on PS4.
What was it called?
The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Okay, I'm gonna.
That game is really good, and it really messed me up for a while.
Oh, perfect. I love those games that mess me up.
In a good way.
Now, did you play Until Dawn?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Did you like it?
I did. I haven't finished it. I had to jump on another game for review and ended up loaning it to my boss that I was telling you about earlier.
I get that.
So yeah, I still need to go and play through it, but man, that's fun.
Yeah, that game messed with
Real
me.
fun. That messed with you too.
Oh, I'm gonna check that game out. I gotta write it down.
Well, for me on the podcast, we just covered like the one game I've been waiting for years was Quantum Break. So now I'm like looking around. I'm really excited for Gears of War 4. I hope it's good. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is one that I look forward to playing with my Vertigo.
Oh no.
And We Happy Few.
Oh yeah, another Canadian.
Also from Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah. I know you're Montreal. And another one I don't know a whole lot about, but I'm looking forward to learning more about and us talking about. It's called Ion. It's from the creators of DayZ.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an MMO, like in space. And, you have to control, I think it says like real-time environments. So you have like air pressure, heat and cold, power grids, and all of this stuff. I don't know, it sounds really fun, but I haven't heard much info lately, so.
I'll have to go check that one out. Jen, you mentioned Quantum Break. Well, how did you feel? Did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. I won't give any spoilers because like the game's all story really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how they did it. Like Zen and I talked about, we both have short attention spans. So for us, like the 20-minute movies, do you know how it works? Like you play.
Oh yeah, I Twitch streamed it early. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you play it and then you make your choice and you watch the movie. For us, it would be kind of nice to break those movies into 10-minute segments rather than 20. For us, it would have been nicer. But I enjoyed it. I had a really good time and I had no idea what to expect,
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. I love the idea of stuff you're doing in game impacting on which clips you're gonna get to see, if you're gonna see more or not. I would have liked to. I wish there was a way you could see without like playing through it like umpteen times because I don't have that kind of time. How much you actually lose by not getting certain clips, and if it does impact on like how much about the story you find out. I haven't read anything about that yet. The only thing is I found that the actual mechanics when it came to shooting and the cover system wasn't working for me.
No.
Especially since I had been so used to playing the Division at that time, it was just not clicking. But I mean, the game is freaking gorgeous.
It's a beautiful idea.
Great stuff that they're doing when you have the time effect. Oh, as a graphic designer, I was just sitting there drooling. So.
Yeah, even like the Monarch Solutions building was so nice. I was like, I want to work here.
And their logo was nice, and I was seeing it like in all these objects and stuff. And we happened to have the Microsoft Studios guys and the guys from Remedy in the chat with us, and I'm like, I want a mug. Can you get one of those, please?
Nice.
Yeah, they're the nice little touches they put in it, and the production quality on the TV show was really good as well. It made me feel like it belonged on like Space Channel or something like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
A good game indeed. Definitely something for people to try, and like a really good testing ground to see how you can blend two different mediums together.
And I think it worked great. I mean, that was my biggest fear, is how they're going to blend everything. Yeah, the shooter aspect wasn't great, but the blending of cutscenes to the movies was brilliant.
I think it's only something you can start really now at this generation, where the quality of graphics is so high. Like, you didn't feel out of place jumping from video game graphic to TV show. I mean, obviously there's a difference.
Yeah.
But, you know, it didn't feel like, you know, back in the day, even when you'd play like Final Fantasy X, right? And you'd see the computer generated graphics in the cutscenes, which are still computer generated, but they looked entirely different from the in-game.
Right.
You don't have that issue as much. So. Yeah. Very cool. Let's see. Next question is, you ladies started a Patreon. What made you want to start a Patreon, and how's the experience been?
Also, after years of paying for hosting and all the equipment, and then on top of that, we now had the podcast hosting.
Mm-hmm.
We just decided just to try to reach out and ask for a little bit of help. We didn't really think we'd get a response, and just the response we did get has been so much help. I don't know if they realize, but I mean, just having that little stress off our shoulders has been great. And the people are awesome.
Yeah. In which you guys know, it's not a cheap hobby. Like, there's always more equipment you need and software and just, you know, just all the different things. And the help that we have gotten on Patreon has been huge. Like, we have all of our like base costs covered right now. So that's like a big weight off our shoulders. And we just appreciate so much and getting to meet our patrons, and, you know, it's been good. So.
And Patreon as a platform, you would recommend it?
Yeah. It's definitely worth trying.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, in the past, we've offered the ability just to, you know, donate. And what we like about Patreon, it lets us give back as well. We try to give value to that donation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I really like it. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, as we were talking about before, your roots, you guys have been playing with other female gamers since the beginning. So do you guys feel that there's been a shift in the female demographic in the gaming world as of late? Do you feel that there's been strides been made, or, you know, there's just been a change in how
the perception? It's a couple things. Like, one, I don't know if there's more women, or if it's just easier to find the women in games, because, you know, like Zen and I back in Halo 2, we both were separately searching for some, you know, women to game with. And, you know, I'm like typing on the forum. It was like my first forum post ever. I was like, I'm playing on Xbox, my gamer tag is, you know, and now, I mean, women are everywhere. There, you know, we've got streams, podcasts, you know, websites, you know, game developers, everything. And so I don't know if it's more or if it's just more visible. I don't know.
I feel like the increase in people using social media has made such a difference. Like, I found you guys from like on Twitter. Yeah, that's how I started following Girl Tribe. Like, and, you know, listening to your content and reading your content was through Twitter. And I've found so many other people that I play with, both male and female, on Twitter, just because of shared interests and shared followers and whatnot. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, totally. And I think the whole perception, like when I was growing up, I believed video games were for boys. But I was a tomboy, and I already had my Ninja Turtles and my Power Rangers, so I didn't really care what other people thought. But I think a lot has changed in these last few years. Even like the characters that we're seeing coming out of game studios. But I don't know. I think it's like an exciting time for just all gamers, really.
Yeah.
Very cool. I got a question from Onyx News a lot from the chat. She wants to know, what's the best decision you've made when it comes to your community/website?
The best decision?
Mm-hmm. Was it to start the Patreon? Was it maybe to change the idea, even going from clan to a community? I can't even talk anymore. That's it. That's what happens at the end of the day. That methodology, thought process. Was it to start the podcast? What do you think really broke you guys out into becoming like where you are today?
I think the podcast has made the biggest change.
Yeah, I agree. Both of us are like, we're really shy people. And for us, just doing the podcast, it was a good way for us to meet other people, like the podcasting community. And, like a lot of our friends are on Xbox Live. And so it's just been a good way to meet people and grow Girl Tribe Gaming. And I think that's probably the best thing we've done, Zen.
Yeah. Oh, and I think like changing from clan to community was, it was a hard change for us to make, but I think that has been great too, because just being able to accept more people and make them feel welcome and not having to have that clan label behind them.
Cool. Yeah, I like Onyx said, Snooze there in chat, he said, you guys don't seem shy at all.
Oh, well, great.
Doing great. What's next for you ladies? Do you have any plans of doing more Twitch streaming? Do you want to grow anything further? Or are you just going to continue on enjoying creating podcasts and audio content and video content?
I think we want to get more into streaming and video. So that is one of our goals we're talking about. We were actually talking on the way when I was getting out of work. I was called Jen. We're like, what's next?
Yeah, that's one thing we always do. Like each year we set a plan, like what do we want to focus on this year? And I think more video is definitely the direction we're going to, and more streaming as a duo. We've done a couple now and they look pretty good. So
you learn something every time.
Oh, for certain. For certain.
Yeah.
It's not just learning something about technology and how to get a game working. It's learning about yourself when you have all caps rage and you're ready to quit because things don't work. Been there, done that.
Yep. You've recorded an entire podcast and it didn't record properly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Been there, done that too. Oh my. The trials and tribulations of what we do, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that really about comes to the end of our show here now. I want to thank Jen and Zen for joining us today. Now, you have to give everybody the lowdown on where they can track you down online, how they can listen to the podcast and all that jazz. So take it away.
All right, Jen, let's just handle this like we handle the normal podcast. All right. You can follow myself on Twitter at ZMcLeod, that's ZMACLEOD. And you can follow Jen on Twitter and on Twitch at MotoGirl, that's MOTO_GRRL.
And you can check out our website at girltribegaming.com. You can hit the podcast button. It'll show you all the different ways to listen. And we're on all of the social media things, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Just type in Girl Tribe Gaming, all one word, and we'll pop up.
Awesome. So, you guys are veterans at that.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Allie, for coming to hang out and taking the time away from your preparations for PAX. I appreciate that.
I needed a break. I needed a break.
Thank you all in chat and those listening online for coming and hanging out with us again this week. And as always, if you want to track us down, we're on Twitter, The Girls on Games, Facebook, we're on YouTube. If you want to listen to this on the go, we're on iTunes. You can subscribe there. And if you need any details or any of that jazz on what we do, who we are, and all those things, you can go to girlsongames.ca. Don't forget, Twitch stream schedule is up and live. Tomorrow we've got Cathlis, and she's back playing a little Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's going to be good times. So once again, thank you all for coming to hang out. We'll be back here next week at 8 p.m. on Monday night, and I look forward to it. So thanks, and have a good week. See you all later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.